Yo, how's everyone doing? Good to see you all. How's everyone's day been? Good. What you been up to? Oh no. Steve, first in the comments. This is new. It's unheard of. It's normally between Michael and Imi. Well done. I was actually first, Imi. Oh, you just can't let it go, can you? Anyway. It's fine. Whoever was first is the best, obviously. It doesn't really matter, does it? Amy, great to see you. Hope you're working hard. Maggie, lovely to see you too. Hey up, Mum. Is Dad there tonight, or is he out golfing, out doing stuff? Good to see you. Finally a night in. Finally a night in the chat. I'm not just listening. Well, yeah, you've been busy. Although you've got a lot to do tonight as well, Amy. Your top mat. Did you buy me? I don't know. Quite an old top, is this? I think I've worn it a few times as well. So tonight we've got Jame Waterhouse joining us. I'm really looking forward to it. Not only just to catch up with him, but to hear what he's been up to musically, because he was in a band that I used to... Still is in that band, actually. We kind of discussed that. It's still a thing, actually. Man Can't Fly. We did a lot of shows together back in the day. City of Lights and Man Can't Fly used to do quite a lot together. I used to put on some shows for them, and then I used to drive them around a little bit as well. So yeah, we've kind of... We were kind of trying to work out the time frame of it all, but it's just mental to think that it's that many years. Like, I think we were saying maybe 4 years or something since I was sort of even driving for them. I didn't drive. I wasn't like their tour driver or anything. It's just a handful of shows that I did a couple of occasions. I keep knocking my guitar out of tune. I tune it, and then I knock it on the mic stand, and then it goes out of tune again. The last minute are in the house. How's it going? Yeah. All right. So we've had a bit of a mare with the merch, and we've had a few issues with the Assembly Point merch. Hey up, Dad. Great to see you. Thank you for not golfing and supporting your favourite son. Means a lot. Oops. So basically, I was supposed to receive the merchandise yesterday. There were some wires that were crossed, and apparently they thought I wasn't due to get them till the 10th. So we compromised, and I had to go collect them today. Obviously, using social distancing and all that, there was a few issues where they weren't necessarily too keen on it, but we had to do something. So the upside is that we've got all of the merch, but it's going to be really touch and go whether we get it out to everybody. So Amy's making a couple of prototypes and stuff, and she's working hard in the sweatshop. For any tie-dyes. And hopefully she'll have them done in good enough time to send out. Did I stutter? Can you hear me loud and clear? The words don't quite come out with your hands around my throat, 'cause what I'm trying to say is, remember the day I said that I'd never rule you out, but this day has come, so goodbye and farewell. I'm lost for words, to be seen but not heard. Lost in this crowded room, full of people that I thought I knew. So 'cause you're like no other. I'm making me second guess myself, and in sickness and in health, you stand back and watch me choke. 'Cause what I'm trying to say is, remember that day I said that I'd never rule you out, but this day has come, so goodbye and farewell. So wait for me to come back down to earth, 'cause the closer you get, the farther away you are. So wait and just breathe, hold your tongue before you speak. So what do you say to pushing me further away? And seasons change like feelings fade. The words you say but don't believe, like falling leaves and broken dreams. 'Cause making this your heart isn't always what it seems. So wait for me to come back down to earth, 'cause the closer you get, the farther away you are. So wait and just breathe, hold your tongue before you speak. So what do you say to pushing me farther away? Thank you. Cheers, guys. Hey, April Steele, hello, how's it going? I've got a question for you, April. How come when you comment on my brother's stream, it comes up as April Steele, but when you comment on this one, it comes up as Celtic Mist? What's going on? Explain yourself. And if you have two accounts, you should be watching it on multiple accounts. Get those numbers up, guys. Come on. You know it. I'm only kidding. Don't do that. I mean, I can't stop you from doing that. Seriously, you better do it. Hey up, Michael. Michael Cope. We've got all the Michaels in now. Wicked. Thank you very much. Glad you enjoyed it. I do like them both. That's funny. My mobile has a different channel. I see. That makes a lot more sense. Okay, we now know. Amy mentioned it the other day, and I was like, hang on, something's going on here. Maybe you didn't want to reveal your true identity on my channel. I don't know. I was obviously overthinking that day, right? Okay. All right. If James is ready, I think we're going to jump right into the show because we've got a lot to catch up on, and I want to hear his new music and what he's been up to. So if he maybe gives me a little thumbs up of some kind, that'd be nice. Is he ready? Are you ready, James? Can you hear me? Looks like my internet just cut out. That's really bad. James, can you hear me, mate? Oh dear. It literally... Oh, he's literally giving me a thumbs up on Facebook. Okay, that's fine. Hey, James. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Yo, how's it going? Oh, I muted you. How's it going? Are you... Is it you muting it?
Probably, yeah.
I was unmuting you and you were muting it, and then we were together. It was just a muting mess. How's it going, man? Great to see you.
Good, mate. Thank you. I guess there are certain points in time in your life where you realise you turn into your dad. and that's when when someone says, "Just give me a thumbs up," and you're like, "Oh, don't know how to do."
Because the funny thing is because despite people not being able to see you when I'm on screen, I can see a little thumbnail of you at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
So usually people go, and I go, "Okay, great, let's go." I love the fact that
cool.
you see,
I'm overcomplicating things. I thought
your Facebook.
I thought you meant like a digital thumbs up.
Yeah,
and what you
that's
actually
even better.
meant was just like.
No,
just
but
one of those.
it made me feel good because it made me feel like I got friends messaging
I reckon
me.
my dad would have got that quicker than me, to be honest.
I was like, sorry guys, I'm just going to have to just get this message. Oh, it's James. Great to see you, mate. Great to see you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Yeah. I'm doing pretty good, all things considered, with the whole pandemic and stuff. I think everyone's in full swing with it, aren't they, at the moment? How are you coping with it all?
Yeah, not too bad. Really good, I think. A bit of a home bird, so I quite like it, to be honest, working from home and getting out in the garden, just chilling out a little bit. Probably not doing as much exercise as should be, but other than that, probably eating a bit too much. But
guilty of that.
Good.
Like, did you find? I mean, before lockdown, I started really trying to get a little bit more fitter and stuff, and go to the gym. But then when I got a text from my gym saying we're going to have to postpone your membership and refund you back your money, I was like, I'm okay with that. I'm totally fine with that. And
it's
then,
just not meant to be. It's God telling you it's not meant to be.
Exactly, that's it, yeah. and then big old Boris was saying that we should go out for walks and stuff. And then I just thought, I wouldn't normally go for a walk, so why would I start now?
I found so my best mate's like a PT, and he was obviously his work stream sort of dried up, being able to go in the gyms, and he was doing sort of remote stuff on Zoom. So for the first couple of weeks, I was actually probably more active than normal because I was just supporting him and doing the whole what's the guy with the long hair that does the video?
Joe Wicks.
That's the fella. Yeah.
What is he? Joe Wicks is your best mate.
I wish he wishes. But yeah, no, he was doing the whole Joe Wicks thing, so I was
cool.
kind of supporting him and doing it in the garden and stuff like that for a couple of weeks, and then it just tailed off. Let's be honest. So yeah, other than that though, no, it's good. I'm doing all right. I think it's a bit of a sort of restart to you. It's like restarting your laptop or something, and it makes you appreciate things that you maybe were taking for granted before. And
I definitely feel that. Yeah, 100%.
It's just it's surreal, but it's all right, I reckon.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm glad you're doing well. And what I love about this whole lockdown thing is, especially from a creative and a musical place, everyone that I've spoke to, or rather anyone that I've sort of like just crossed paths with, or seen their statuses, or anything when it comes in to like seeing what they're up to, they've really like doubled down on being creative. Which if that's the thing that's going to come of this, then I think that's a fair play, man. I think it's really good that everyone's on it and doing the thing.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've been trying to do all sorts of stuff. It's not very cool, but I've been sort of growing veg in the garden. I've been sort of doing woodwork.
That is cool.
Just anything, really.
Mate, you're speaking my language. Honestly, ask my wife. You honestly, mate, me and you need to hang out more.
We exchange tips on growing vegetables.
Yes, mate. That is what I do.
Yeah.
I've made a potato box.
Have you? Yeah.
And I don't know if they're doing well. They could be rotting for all I know. I'm scared to go in them because normally they come in a plastic bag from Asda or something. And
no, I think they'll be cool. They'll be cool. You just got to. It's all patience, isn't it? It does.
Yeah.
I think growing veg is it's a good thing because it makes
Welcome
you
to Gardener's World.
Yeah. You can't rush things. You can't rush things. It's a good metaphor for life. You just got to stick with it. And for music, I guess, you can't rush things. And
there we go.
Sometimes it works. There we go. Back into it.
We steered it back to the music.
Yeah. No, I guess, it's a good analogy with life. It takes time. You got to steer yourself. You got some things don't work out. You plant seeds, they don't work, whatever, I don't know. But it's a patience game, right? And as long as you're enjoying it and getting something out of it, then there you go.
Mate, I think we can wrap the show up there. You've just smashed your wise
so
wisdom
rock and roll,
words.
isn't it? I'm just reading Dawn's comments. Sorry, really boring. I'm the new With a new album, Tidge Marshes.
I want to be what's the name?
Charlie Dimmock.
That's the one. I'm a.
I've got the moves for it, I must admit.
Okay, right. Let's swiftly move on.
Swiftly move on.
Yeah, man. Right. Do you? So, what have you been up to? Like, have you found the time to be creative and write and stuff?
Yeah. Well, I guess we were talking about it briefly before, and probably so. As you alluded to, I'm in a band called Man Can't Fly. I've been for a number of years, and I guess things have slowed down a little bit there. We're still sort of at it in the background, but basically everyone's just living their lives, and you know it ebbs and flows in terms of how much energy you put into these things. So I'd kind of found that I was lacking that outlet really to write music and to be creative. So probably about 6 months or so, something like that, I thought, right, I'm going to just start sort of picking up on stuff I've been writing and I've written in over the years, and try and sort of, you know, put a bit of effort behind that. So yeah, I've been doing that really, just sort of trying to think the instigator. I mean, I said to you earlier, I've kind of had a few, I won't say sort of mental health problems, because I think everyone, I was talking to my mum about this morning, everyone sort of experiences the similar sort of things, but I've had a few issues with like anxiety and a little bit of depression over the last couple of years, and one thing that I realised was that I need to have a creative outlet, and if you don't have that, you go mad really. So I think that's been part of that journey, and I've been, you know, being able to write music, start recording it, and focus on it a little bit more and give it a bit more attention has really helped me, to be honest. And it's not really geared towards doing anything. I've no ambitions to be the next Adele or anything like that. I don't know why Adele comes. But no, it's all about the process. It's back to the veg thing, right? It's good. It's good fun, and you feel like you're doing something with your time. And if you enjoy it, then it's good. So yeah, no, I've been writing and recording a little bit. Yeah, basically.
I definitely feel I feel very much on the same wavelength as you when it comes to the whole mental health, anxiety and sort of overthinking and that kind of thing. I genuinely think music is such an outlet for anyone really that wants to sort of take it on board. But when you did what you did, and you know I was on the same scene as you as well. Both bands sort of crossed paths a number of times. We were both like full throttle, weren't we? Like Man Can't Fly was like playing every show that was offered to them, and you know you got some really great opportunities and stuff like that. And they weren't nothing to sort of like turn your nose up at. You took them everything in your stride, but you know things run its course, and for whatever reason, you know, it slows down and things move on and that sort of stuff. But it's just keeping that sustainability and like the momentum going is near and impossible, I think. And I think when you can find a place where you're just happy creating and just doing what it is you love, rather than like it's something we were talking about just very loosely before. Like you kind of get bogged down with all of the bells and the whistles that come with the industry. It's not always about the song. It's about like what artwork are you going to put out, and you kind of overthink and overanalyze absolutely everything. That, or at least that was the case for me.
Yeah, no, we were the same with I guess with Man Can't Fly really. And if we had Ben on to chat about it too, we'd both say the same thing. But we always overanalyzed everything. We were as you say, we were worried about like, you know, how we're going to push this, you know, say we're working towards an album, how we're going to push this album, who do we need to get in front of, what's the artwork going to be, like, as you said, you've kind of got to worry about everything. But that detracts from actually focusing on the music and enjoying doing it. And if you're not enjoying something, forget music, if you're not enjoying something, you're not going to get a good result, are you? And if you're not focusing on the music first and foremost, then it starts to become a chore as opposed to something you enjoy. So I think as I said, we've always like me and the guys are best mates. Like me and Ben are sort of, we'll always be sort of brothers, so to speak, and we'll always be close. We'll always make music. We'll always catch up. We'll always write music like that. That's just goes without saying. But the point, like you say, it's about energy and where you put your energy, and sometimes it just kind of gets a bit dull, and you're just like, oh fuck,
I think you've just actually opened up a whole door for me right now, mate. Just talking about that, like, I think it's made me realise something. You invest a lot of energy into all of the other parts of the industry that need to be done. They all need to be addressed. And then when I took the time out, and as I said to you earlier on, it's coming on 6 years since I've put anything officially out, and now I think I've realised why I've made it such an overfacing achievement and not about necessarily just writing a song and putting it out. Is because I'm thinking about all the bells and the whistles that we were just talking about there. And like, that's the fear, like that's the thing that's potentially creating the unnecessary anxiety and the worry and the fear of is this going to be any good, when the reality of it is it's just a song. You need to put it out, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, speaking to you now has actually just kind of put a lot of perspective into even my own personal sort of trials and tribulations, if you like, on the run up to this release that I've just put out now. It's quite weird.
Yeah.
It's strange.
Exactly. And I think everyone that's involved in music will at some point go through that, won't they? And you've got to remind yourself why you do it, basically, and make sure you're enjoying it and not worry about it. I don't know. I'm probably preaching. I know with yourself I'm preaching to the choir, but yeah.
Mate, I love the open conversation. That, for me, I think this is the important part of the show. I really find a lot of value in it on a personal level, and I know people watching there, very interested in this side of stuff as well. So appreciate you sort of opening up and giving your some context into how you create and how you've got back to creating. It's really cool, man.
Yeah, no worries.
That said, should we get a tune from you and sort of? Then we can maybe get, if there's any questions that anyone would like to ask in the comments, if they want to just bang them in the comments now whilst you're playing, we can sort of pick up the conversation after your first track.
I might be a bit rusty. It seems like a while since I've played in front of anyone, to be honest. I've just noticed Graham Firth's there. Probably the last time I played live was his 70th birthday, and that was literally like a couple of days before lockdown. So.
Oh man.
Anyway,
wicked.
Right, let's get going.
Happy days.
Good to go?
Yeah, man, you take it away. I'll make you full screen.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear the guitar? Is that all right?
I
Is
can,
that on?
yeah. Everything sounds great, mate.
Cool. It was me who let you in. Now you're under my skin, flowing through my veins, circulating. I've tried to do things right, tried to stay in the light, but we slipped into the night and desolation. So don't you let me down with your black heart. Don't you let me drown in your black heart. Black. It's getting harder to ignore. We talk and talk some more. Feel it rising from the floor. Intoxication. Smoke fills my eyes. The truth lies, the lies. It's getting harder to disguise the devastation. So don't you let me down with your black heart. Don't you let me drown with your black heart. Black heart. Black heart.
Great work, mate. I love it.
Can you hear that?
That's the track you sent me a version of, right? You sent me I don't think it was quite a demo. Was it something that you were about to release? Where was it at? What stage was that at?
It's nearly there. We're not quite off. Sorry, not quite finished, but it's pretty much nearly there. It needs probably another mix and some mastering, but
Yeah, man.
It just dawned on me then I'd not thought about how it actually finishes. Because on the recording we got like there's some guitar at the end and it sort of builds up and goes, but it's quite hard to do like this. So I'm more for so again, something Ben taught me. It's better like short and sweet than going on too long.
No, it sounded wicked, mate. I love it. It's got a real good feel to it, and it's like proper. It's quite moody in it, but it especially the recorded version that you sent over to me. It's got a lot of dynamics. It's something that we were talking about before. You wanted to add and incorporate elements of like dark acoustic songwriting with modern production. Like synths and that kind of stuff. And you can really hear it in that track.
Yeah.
It's cool, man. It's really interesting.
I think that was the that's the aim. I think it's always good to have like a bit of a thread through your music, whether that be something, I don't know, you always have harmonies or it's always acoustic or whatever, and I guess the idea is sort of acoustic guitar but then more sort of synth sounds and sort of some deep bass but like synthesized bass and not the obvious sort of acoustic double bass and people on cellos and that sort of thing. That idea of sort of synthesized music and then modern production, but with the acoustic guitar and songs, is kind of what we're working towards. Whether that works or not is another matter, I guess. Whether that's a formula that works. There's not many people that have kind of been really good at that in the past, I guess. But
what I love about it is it's kind of I wouldn't say it's uncharted territory, but it's the sky's the limit when you're picking essentially polar opposites of not genres. It's hard to describe, really, isn't it? You've essentially got something that's usually straight down the line and using like real sounding instruments, and then something that's more computer based and tech, and you're kind of merging the two. And I think it's going to be a really interesting venture, man. I think it's going to be wicked. So just keep doing it, man. Chloe is in the comments, my old housemate, and Chloe Waterhouse.
Great name, Chloe.
And
I've got a cousin called Chloe Waterhouse. Actually,
that's
I'm
your cousin,
assuming
mate.
Is it seriously?
Yeah.
Jesus, I didn't know she used to live with you. That's
she lived with me and him. She lodged with us for a little while. Can't remember how long, to be fair. A while. She's awesome. She's cool. Anyways,
she's very cool. I hope your mum's all right, Chloe.
Yeah, she's absolutely. I hope she's doing well. Julie's in the comments as well. Amy's auntie, and she mentioned that she's going to try round everyone up to tune in as well. So that's cool.
Cool.
Right, so we have had a few questions in. Let's see. How did you get into music, and what advice would you give to a musician trying to get their music out there? Sorry, just before you do start answering that question, are you hearing a high-pitched buzz? Or is it just me?
I'm not. It might be.
Can you just
me.
wiggle something and just see if it's at your... There we go, it stopped. Whatever you've done, it stopped.
It's somewhat with the guitar, then I turn the volume of the guitar down.
Cool.
Like I'll knock it down, and when I get going, I'll turn it back up.
Great. It's only just every now and then it just keeps kicking in, and I just...
Does it?
Obviously, yeah, but it's cool.
Right, cool. Let me have a think about that. How do you get into music, and what advice would you give new musicians trying to get into music out there? So how did I get into music? I was fortunate enough to have two uncles who both played guitar. So my Uncle Chris and my Uncle John. And so I guess I was kind of like surrounded by it a little bit, and they never really did much and got out there with it, unfortunately, but they were good musicians, and they had a real good sort of musical taste, a breadth of musical taste. So that was the obvious thing to do, was play guitar, because I used to see my Uncle Chris and my Uncle John playing guitar. I'm talking like when I was about 10 or something like that. And then my mum and dad have always been massive sort of musos, I guess, and always sort of playing music constantly. My dad used to, Friday night in particular, work's finished, get the stereo turned up and get the vinyls on, and so I was very stereotypical, but sort of brought up around listening and listen to music. So probably about 10 years old, I picked a guitar up, and I thought, right, I want to learn this. And then I guess a couple of years later, it was the whole sort of what was it? What did they call it? Not Britpop, was it? The whole Oasis, Blur type era.
Indie
yeah.
pop, indie stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So essentially, everyone was wanted to be in Oasis or Blur at the time. So me and a few mates were sort of got into it. I guess it's something that kind of it as a kid, at least, it kind of comes and goes. So I think you kind of you pick a guitar up one point, and then you're distracted and you do something else. But you need a reason to do it, and at the time that was that everyone was into bands, and there's that whole wave of that the sort of music coming along. So yeah, I did that. I'm probably drifting off the question, but I'm going to keep going. And then we used to go. My dad and I used to go to. There used to be a pub on White Abbey Road called the Melbourne. If anyone's familiar with that, it's now the building's still there, but I think it's some sort of clothes shop or something like that. But at the time, they used to do on a Sunday. They used to do a jam session. So they used to have the guy that ran it was called Denny. He was like a bit of a sort of lovable rogue from the northeast, and he used to run it. And he had all sorts of like weird and wonderful people coming in. From like there's a window cleaner who used to come in and play the Shadows to like. Chantel McGregor used to go in there. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Chantel McGregor, who's a brilliant musician and guitarist now that's kind of doing big things on the sort of rock and blues front. Like she used to go in there as a kid and stuff. So you had like this real spectrum of like total chances and through to people who are really, really good. And I just kind of grew up in there with my dad on a Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock until about 7 o'clock. Depending on how early Dad had start work the next day, and we just used so I kind of just got into it like that, and I've kind of always loved it really. Last bit of the question was about
what advice would you give to any musicians trying to get the music out there? Great answer, by the way, in that first part. It's nice to hear a bit of a backstory of how you actually got into it, and to kind of go back into not only hearing about collection of music that you were brought up on, and then it stemming into a more modern style of like probably people of our age kind of got sucked into the whole indie scene and stuff like that, and then for it to go even further and
and a
local local bar and hear musicians in a local level. It's
And
wicked.
I remember I remember the nerves
yeah.
back then when I was a kid, and I used to, I don't know, my dad might say, "Oh, can you get up and play a bit of guitar on this jam or whatever?" And I'd be sat there and I'd be like really, really nervous, and sometimes you wouldn't even be asked, so you didn't even get up. But I guess that set me off. That set me in good stead for sort of later life playing music, because
Yeah.
I've never really been that nervous about playing music. I'm nervous about loads of things in my life, but never really about music, which is weird. But I thank those days in the Melbourne for that. I think it just kind of, broke the ice a little bit. In terms of trying to get your music out there, I guess it's really, Matt and I talked about this earlier. Like, it's really hard. It depends what you're trying to do, right? If you're trying to get be successful in inverted commas, like, what even is that? It's really difficult. But I guess I just draw it back to, like, just enjoying your music and making sure you've got a network of people around you that enjoy your music too, and then just let it build organically and see what happens with it.
I think even what you were saying a minute ago about the like the pub open mic thing, like, it's defining what getting your music out there is. Because if it's turning up every weekend or week or whatever it may be to your local bar and playing your handful of songs in front of whatever audience is in that bar, then that technically is getting your music out there. I think
exactly.
the issue is there's the blurred line between this whole people's expectation of, I want to be playing stadium heights, when the reality of it is you have to play anything and everything right from the start of the whole journey. You can't just go. Imagine someone turned around to you tomorrow and said, that song you just played, you're playing that at Wembley tomorrow. It would blow people's mind, and I just don't think that it's achievable. Like, your ass would fall out, and do you know what I mean? You need that run up. You need to build up your confidence, and I think it's a healthy way of doing it.
Like you say, getting it out. It's always getting it out there as well. What you mean by getting it out there? Like,
yeah,
the best times we had in the band were not necessarily the heights of our sort of musical success. They were about, I don't know, when someone told a joke in the van, or, like, I don't know. Like, yeah. I saw Graham earlier said about the sellout crowd at Dublin Castle in London. There's literally, that's when Matt was with us as well. It was like about 2 people there, or 3 people there. But, that's what it's all about. It's about having good fun in it. And
absolutely.
for me, that's getting it out there. If you're bold enough to get outside your bedroom and just play it for anybody, that's getting it out there. And if you enjoy it, then, there you go.
Win-win. Wicked. Let's do one more question and then we'll get a song from you again, because I don't want to be rushing through songs.
It's because I'm talking so much rubbish that we're running out of time.
You're not, mate. You're very entertaining. I'm really enjoying catching up with you as well. It's really cool. I would love to hear about your favourite go-to guitar and for your own casual playing, I think. So do you have like a go-to guitar? Do you just pick up a guitar and write your songs on it? Or do you have like, are you happy to just play anything? Or do you, like, for instance, my TAC, I play everything on it. I write every song on it. I'm assuming that's what the question is.
Yeah. So I had a TAC for ages, just a real cheap one, and I used to love it. So that was my go-to guitar for a lot of years. I remember, I think it was my 21st, my dad said, right, I'll buy you a better guitar, basically, if you want one. So I went and played a few other ones, and I had to go on a couple of Martins and stuff like that. And I generally didn't like anything more than the TAC at the time, so I stuck with that. And then when I looked again in a few years' time, I settled on the Taylor that I'm playing on now. It's got a real big body. I don't even know what type of Taylor it is, but it's a Taylor. It's got a big body. It sounds amazing. It's the action's quite hard on it, really, like thick strings and stuff like that. But I just love the sound of it. So that, I guess that's my go-to. I do play my electric a fair bit. I play on a HSS Strat. I've tried loads of other things that are like look cooler, but in terms of versatility, like that's your man, I think. That's what I play on there. But yeah, they're my 2 go-tos. But I'd always go to the acoustic over the electric.
Are you a bit of a guitar nut, or are you just quite happy to just, oh, that sounds nice, I'm happy with that, it doesn't matter, it can be literally something out of a
No,
charity
I'm
shop?
totally not a guitar nut.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, something. I don't know. I remember. I don't know if anyone knows Walter Trout, the blues guitarist who played. He plays with. If you don't look him up, he's like absolutely amazing. Seen him loads of times. And I remember me and my dad staying around one time at the Irish Centre, I think it was, to chat to him, and ask him about like what does he play through, like what. Yeah, you're assuming he's so good. You're assuming he's got like all this stuff, and he basically's just got an old like 65 Strat. He's got a Mesa Boogie amp, and then it's just like an on-off like boost on-off button on his Mesa Boogie, and the guy can make that guitar sound literally sound like anything. And I always remember that and thinking, like, that's like Utopia is about like how good you are on the actual guitar, and it not about like all the effects and all, like how good your guitar is. It's about like how good you are at guitar, basically.
Yeah,
I always think back to
absolutely.
that. So when in the band, not that I was ever really very good on guitar, but I always just tried to keep it really simple, just a decent amp, quality guitar, a couple of simple pedals depending on what you're trying to do, and just like leave it at that.
Wicked. I quite agree though. I think it kind of takes it back to what we were talking about releasing music. Is just keep it really simple and just you don't need to be all over complicated and over facing. But yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
It's very cool. Should we get another song from you, anyways?
Yeah, cool.
Also, I'd just like to give a shout out anyone that's watching on Facebook. If you'd like to join us on YouTube, the community in the comments is a little bigger. It's a little bit more active, but by all means, stay on Facebook if you prefer. And if you are new here, please consider subscribing to the channel as well. Just a cheeky little plug. But as I say, you are more than welcome to join us or stay put. It's up to you. So, yeah, do you want to play a tune for us? Do you want to turn your guitar up and whatnot?
Yeah.
Nice.
Is that's going? I guess. Right. I'll apologise now. I finished this off today, so there you go.
Great.
It's called "I Was the Gun You Were the Sun." Did you reach the heights, or did you face reality? Did you live your wildest dreams, or just get by more modestly? And did you find some solace in some dear less hollow, dizzy look a bit like me? And did you ever wonder if I'd stop from going under, would you still be flying free? 'Cause I was the gun and you were the sun, and we used to shine so bright. You were the one, but we were so young and without a fight. Love can live or die, can come and go, blink of an eye. And when the feeling's gone, can't get it back even if you try. And I've been distant dreaming of a life with more meaning, one that could have been with you. And I could say I don't care, convince you of that to be fair, but that wouldn't be quite true. 'Cause I was the gun and you were the sun, and we used to shine so bright. You were the one, but we were so young, let you go without a fight. And we always said, unless you love someone, then nothing makes of these thoughts bouncing round my head. 'Cause I was the gun and you were the sun, and we used to shine so bright. You were the one, but we were so young, let you go without a fight.
Great work, mate.
There you go.
So tell me, how much of the song was written before and how much have you written? Because you said you sat on this one for a little while, right?
Yeah, I'd done the first verse and the chorus, and then I'd done the last half and the bridge today. So yeah, apologies.
Wicked.
I lost my
No, I love the fact
lost my
that you-
thread a little bit, but it's all right. It kind of it's forming, isn't it?
Mate, it's great. I love it. I love the fact that it's like we're hearing it at such early stages, and I feel like it's gonna lend itself really nicely to this idea that you've got of both the acoustic vibe with the electronic-y, synthy stuff. I think it's gonna really lend it to itself. There's a lot of space for other dynamics and stuff in the song. It's really good, mate. Well done.
Cheers, man.
Yeah, getting a lot of love in the comments as well. Great. So, when it comes to songwriting, are you like struggling? Have you hit a bit of a wall, or is this the prime time for you right now? Are you smashing out lots of new material?
I guess I've always sort of been able to like pick the guitar up and write a song. It's more about being in the right frame of mind to pick the guitar up, I think.
Got you.
So yeah, I mean, some people, they'll sit with the guitar for hours and hours and hours, and you got people who write songs for a living where they've literally got to like produce something in a period of time. I reckon if I'm in the right frame of mind, and again, like Ben and I, like a lot of the Band Can't Fly stuff, we wrote it in just a couple of sessions where we just got together and played some stuff, and so yeah, I can kind of write, but it's just being in the right frame of mind.
So have you still got your little studio set up as well at your house?
Yeah, it's been a bit unloved, I guess, recently, but it's still there.
Cool.
It's still in my parents' place. I guess I'm using more just stuff on the laptop at the moment, just like what is it, GarageBand, and I guess that's one of the great things about the internet and the digital age, isn't it, where you can like you get an idea down in like 2 seconds, and you can you obviously it's not going to be like the finished drums or whatever, but you can simulate some in a couple of minutes, and then you just get captures an idea, and then you can share it, and then you can send it across the like I say in my case to Ben or whatever, and Ben will add a bit to it, and then he'll send it back, and like it's a different creative process, but it's pretty cool really, and it's certainly in lockdown it's invaluable really, isn't it? Yeah, what would you do without that? I know you were saying about recording bands earlier, remotely. Is that like it must be a surreal experience recording a band remotely? Yeah.
So essentially, how we've been doing it is just through video call or Skype calls. We collaborate and we work together, and they've got the tools at their end to be able to guide stuff down, and then I do all of the like programming at this end, so anything to do with MIDI and all that sort of stuff. And we're essentially building the song up to enough of a point where they're able to then come in and just do a final take of their guitar, final vocal take. But honestly, mate, some of it's like turning out to be just as good. Like, I know this sounds crazy, but we recorded some vocals on an iPhone. Like I just said, right, he had no means of recording it, no decent microphone or anything like that. So I went, just bash down a vocal on your iPhone, and we put it in, and I did all the compressions and everything that it needed to do, and we were just like, let's just use that as the main vocal. It sounds really good.
Yeah.
Sounds sick.
I must have, like I say, I started off with, I've got my little like very basic rig. I daredn't touch it because it'll probably break, but like a little USB type thing that I said to you before.
Yeah.
And I started off like I was recording through that, and then more recently I've just been using the mic on the laptop and just to get an idea down. It's cool, isn't it? But I think there's probably an element, like you said, that remote recording. There's a little bit of bit more time in between, isn't there, to kind of consider what you're doing. I know we've been down to Outhouse down in Reading a number of times, and you're always watching the clock because you know you've only got so long to do it, and then you end up like, you know, you'd be working on a bit of a guitar part, it won't sound right when you do it and record it, and you're like, oh shit, I need to do something different. But you're under pressure then, and when you're under pressure, sometimes you don't always produce the best stuff, do you? So that I think the whole remote bit, like you do a little bit, you go away, have a think about it, you might make some recommendations as a producer, and then you know, I actually probably gets better results in some respects. It's just whether you can get the quality recording, I guess. But
it is different. It's weird. The only thing I miss is the vibing, you know, and gauging how the room, how it feels in the room, and you know, that's the only element that I'm missing. But other than that, like, it works. It does really work. It's opened up a whole new door though, like people that you know, across the pond that I would never have ever thought to record with, you know, potentially that's now an option, you know. I can collaborate with people all over the world just remotely, sort of thing. So it's pretty cool.
It's awesome.
Very cool. Because did you produce the last Man Can't Fly record as well?
So the last thing we put out was it's the Runaway EP, and that was recorded down in Reading at Outhouse.
Was that
but
one?
we co-produced it, basically. Yeah.
Sound. Yeah, I thought you'd done. You know, I thought you'd done a fair bit on it. To be fair,
it's probably the first time we've actually gone into a studio and worked with a producer, other than just doing stuff ourselves. I mean, we always used to just a bit of a cottage industry, really. I remember recording guitars in. So Ben's dad's got like it's like an engineering shop, basically. Recording guitars in this engineering shop, it's a big room, and you can like turn it up and say, like, we've recorded in some really strange places, basically. But we've always done it ourselves, and Ben's always produced. So that was the first time we kind of stepped away a little bit, and it was a bit of a learning curve for us. But I think the Runaway is good. We've done some good stuff as a band. It's time and place, right? It's opportunity, and who's listening to it. You know, it don't always make it in inverted commas, but as long as you feel like you're progressing, I guess.
I really liked the direction you were going with the last stuff. I feel like it had a really good energy, and just everything, sonically, lyrically, musically, everything, just vocally, it just all seemed to really work really nicely and really well. It did have a really cool energy. There was one song in particular, I don't know if it was the title track or I'd have to go back and refresh my memory on it, if I'm honest. But I'm
have a look. Check us out on Spotify.
I'm gonna.
The latest stuff on there is good. I think we started off quite acoustic-y, and at a time when that was kind of trendy.
Yep. So did I.
And then I guess because that's not quite what we're all in musically, what we all listen to, we sort of rebelled against that a little bit and went a bit heavier. But it's probably
the audience that you grew.
Yeah, it wasn't unauthentic to what we liked as people, as musicians. But in terms of, like, I don't know, there's something that didn't quite click with that. So we went down a bit of a rabbit hole, and then I guess the more recent stuff is us pulling back a little bit more just to like good songwriting, short, sharp songs, and just like the sound that's a little bit more authentic to us, really. So it's not the last you'll have heard of Man Can't Fly, but don't watch this space because we're really slow at sorting shit out.
I love the honesty. It's like, it's not you haven't heard of the Last of Us, but don't hang around because it's going to be a minute. Right, let's get a final song from you, mate. Are you you mentioned a cover, or are you going to play another original? What were you saying in the last message you mentioned to me?
I might as well play one of mine. I was going to do a cover, but why not? I've only got 3 songs, so I might as well play them, haven't I?
Absolutely, mate. That's what it's all about.
Can you hear that? Does that sound? Is that
beautiful.
a D? Are they both Ds?
They're both Ds. It's all about the Ds.
There we go. Right.
Nice.
This one's Running Man. Again, I'm kind of been recording this, but if you've got the patience to wait around for it, I'll probably release it at some point.
That's it.
I don't keep your photo on my screen no more, and I don't stay up waiting for you to come home. Maybe if we tried a little, maybe talked and cried a little, we wouldn't be so deep down in this hole. But maybe I'm a running man that's running down a road. Maybe I'm a running man with nowhere to go. I've tried to change, I've tried to be more like you are, but cracks soon show and things slip eventually. My fear rises from the floor. I don't know who scares me more, not being with you or being alone as me. But maybe I'm a running man that's running out of road. Maybe I'm a running man with nowhere to go. I'm laid here in the road. There's no way back, but I don't know how to go. Laid on my own. There's no way back, but moving is too slow. Running down the road. Maybe I'm a running man with nowhere to go. Baby, I'm a running man, running out of road. Baby, I'm a running man with nowhere to go. Baby, I'm a running
What a banger, mate. I was just jamming out to that. I was having a great time. That was wicked. Well done. Love it.
Cheers, man.
So what's the plan then? We have had a few more questions actually, so we'll just wrap up maybe with one more question. I was just going to say, what's the plan with music in general? And actually, I think that was one of the questions. Let's see if I can find it. Tell you what, we'll do like a quick fire round. Whilst I'm looking for that question, what's your most memorable gig?
Most memorable gig? It's probably at Bingley Music Live with Man Can't Fly.
I was there.
Yeah,
Great show.
it was awesome.
It was insane how many people were there, man.
I was very hungover though. It's kind of spoiled it really. In retrospect, I would have liked to have had an early night beforehand.
It was good. It was cool. There was a lot of people there as well. Because that was around the time that Radio 1 was back in. You had a bit of a sort of, weren't you like track of the week or something like that?
Yeah,
so
we got a bit of momentum going. Track of the week. We did the BBC introducing as you guys did City Lights, I think.
Mhm.
We thought we were on to big things. I think the whole thing with it was we got all that like it was really early. We started. We wrote a couple of songs, we recorded them, and then we got all that like relatively speaking success very early. And I guess that kind of messes me a little bit, because most bands like have to graft and graft and graft and graft and graft for an opportunity, and then there you go, that's it.
I remember you having lots of conversations about it when I was driving you around and stuff. You would that was
not that we were bitter or
was-
anything that it had not gone so well since, but
No, I think it's a similar situation. You're trying to work out something that you had no idea how it had even happened in the first place. You're trying to work out I don't know, a machine that no one really understands anyways. It's so bizarre. It's really mental. So
it's nuts.
the question was, and I bloody lost it again. It was near this one. Okay, so it's up a bit. Have you got any plans for for future live performances, either solo or band?
Yeah, I'd actually love just to get out a bit and do some open mics. I've no like other plans than that, but once hopefully everything starts opening back up again, that's on my list of things to do. So, you know, like I said, chipping away at it, enjoying it, writing music, recording it, get out a bit, play it a bit, do this sort of thing. So yeah, that'll be it. I've no firm plans, but yeah, definitely. If people like it, then, you know, I might get booed off at some point.
No, man, I've absolutely thoroughly enjoyed hanging out with you tonight, mate. You know, just not let alone catching up with you has been great. But hearing your new music and sort of you putting your bit of context into your thoughts on how the industry is and stuff like that, man. I really appreciate you taking the time out to come on and talk, man.
Thanks, Matt, and thanks for everyone logging in and listening. Really appreciated. I didn't think there'd be anyone, to be honest. So there you go. Really happy. Not because of Assembly Point, obviously, because of me.
No, I do. Any sort of final words? Anything you want to plug? Anything you want to talk about just before we round off? Just to round off the show. Anything at all?
No, I guess just keep supporting this sort of thing. Keep supporting people like Matt. Keep supporting Assembly Point, and
you heard it here first.
Yeah, because this is, I guess, what it's all about, right? It's not about, the chart success and selling singles and your pop stars and that sort of thing. It's all about people getting together, asking questions, talking, playing music, enjoying it. What more could you want? So yeah, that's what I'd finish on probably.
Well, thanks very much, man. I appreciate that. And once again, cheers for taking the time out to hang out, and I hope to catch up with you real soon. Let's not leave it another 4 years. Let's actually,
man.
Get in touch again, and maybe we could do some writing together or something like that. Let's knock our heads together.
No, absolutely.
And be creative. All right, man. Thank you again. I'll speak to you very soon. Take care of yourself.
See you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. What a great night. James is an absolute legend. It was great to have him on the show, and it was nice to hear him play some new music, and give some insight as to his thoughts on the industry and stuff like that. So if you do get a second to check out his new channels, he's just set up an Instagram and a Facebook. You should definitely go check them out. And he's just messaged me now saying, hope that was okay. It was great, James. Honestly, it was awesome. He's also messaged me saying, I was talking shit. He wasn't talking. He's great. He's still messaging me. Oh, but yeah. Anyways, nonetheless, you may have noticed I had a costume change midway through. Amy has done a prototype of the first tie-dye. I think it's turned out pretty well. I think we'll probably turn up the tie-dye a little bit. What was the title of the last song? I think it was Running Man, was it? And I believe that's not recorded yet. I'm not entirely sure though. I will message him, or the best bet actually is, and it'll make him feel really good, is drop him a message on his Facebook. And then just say you came over from the Assembly Point thingy and you want to know what song it was that he played last. So if you have ordered a t-shirt, Amy's working on tie-dyeing them now. There you go. We've obviously got the various colours and stuff like that. We're going to aim to post them out as soon as possible. Thank you for everyone's patience and understanding. It is very cool of you to just be so, supportive and not, It was out of my hands that I haven't had them until today. It's my bad. What else? I am waffling, but I'm just enjoying hanging out, If you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel. If you've already subscribed, thank you very much for the continued support. And what else? That's it. So tomorrow is the final daily live, where it'll be just me. So essentially it's a Sunday meetup, but it's just me on my own for Friday. So it's the Friday meetup. It's the Assembly Point Festival Eve. And we'll just be talking like this and hanging out. So please join me, and we'll just catch up and have a bit of a sing-song and whatnot. Right, okay, I'm gonna have to go because I've got tie-dye t-shirts and stuff. But we'll see what happens. Okay. Goodbye, guys. What's 103? I'm confused. T-shirts in blue. It's teal, actually. Sorry, just to say. Teal. Okay, I'm going to go now. See ya.